Greetings and salutations. Welcome to another episode of Mari's Golden Hour. Thank you so much for joining me. So, I have been playing that Starbucks summer game. I don't know if anybody else has been playing that, but yeah, I'm a sucker for it. And I was playing my little plays today. And so, every single time I play it, I usually am not lucky at all. I think I lucked up on maybe a couple of extra bonus stars. But, so finally today, the rainbow ball that I picked, it landed within this moving target. Excuse me. I ended up going through puberty just now. So the rainbow ball that I picked, it landed in the moving target. And I thought I was going to get some sort of huge reward or fireworks would go off, some sort of confetti explosion, something, because it's a moving target, and this ball that I've been trying to get to land in any of the pockets, and it never does, it finally did. And so that happened, and all I got were 10 bonus stars, which, I was very appreciative of it. However, I thought it would be this, grand, you have done it, you have finally succeeded in life. I wanted that sort of celebration, but it didn't happen. And it reminded me of the scene that I saw in a movie where this guy, the character, was spending all kinds of money in one of those claw, those machines that has the big old metal claw that, you angle it and jiggle it around and set up the coordinates in such a way to claw up whatever the prize is. And in this case, it was some sort of candy or a candy bar or something, and he would never get it. And then finally, he gets that candy bar, and he has this quick celebration of yes, I did it, and looked around, and there was nobody around to celebrate it with. And so, in a way, that's kind of how I felt. I know that I could have done a screenshot to share it with people, but I don't know. It was sort of like that hollow victory where I had that quick instant of yes, success, I did it. But it felt kind of flat. It fell completely flat because it's oh hey, you did this thing, and here's your little couple extra stars. So anyway, what else? I noticed the post office. I read a couple of different things where they're either reducing their sorting machines or they're getting rid of them completely. I don't know if that is for efficiency or, I guess if you want to think negatively about it, there's some ulterior motive as far as voting is concerned for this upcoming November election. I don't know. But I also saw where they were getting rid of or reducing the big blue mailboxes. Again, I don't know what ultimately that is about, but I know that one way that we can help out our USPS is to purchase stamps. I was conducting a transaction in the post office myself, and another woman ahead of me was asking if she could donate, to which the post office manager replied and said, no, you can't donate, but buy stamps, mail letters, and so that's what I did. I bought some stamps, and I do plan on mailing out some letters to friends, which I've already done that before, but I know it's about time that I did another wave of it, but things have just been a little bit on the hectic side, so I haven't done it, so my apologies, but I will try to get those out. What else? I think it was this past week. I could be wrong about this. My apologies for not being on it, but I believe it was this past week. It was a celebration of Black Restaurant Week. And the article that I read listed a bunch of different restaurants to go to that happen to be Black-owned restaurants, and which were available for primarily takeout, as many of our restaurants are. I think some with dine-in or limited dine-in services, but everybody practicing the safety guidelines. And I don't know very much about it, but I do believe that it started I don't know if it's a week or the month of celebrating Black-owned restaurants or businesses that was started in Houston, which I was surprised to find out. I would think that would have started in some other city. Didn't think it'd be Houston, but Houston does have really, 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 excuse me, really good food. Let's see, what else? Oh, yeah. So I read that the last Blockbuster in the world is available to rent out as an Airbnb. However, the catch is it is only available to local, the county residents of this particular area, which is located in Oregon. Specifically, it's in Bend, Oregon. That is where the last Blockbuster Video is located. And for those that do not know what Blockbuster Video is, it is this ancient retail store from an earlier civilization. The civilization that had rented out these things called VHS tapes. And they switched formats from VHS to DVDs, and then people would go physically to this store, rent out their movies, whether they were in VHS form or eventually DVD form. You could rent, I believe it's video games and movies, and I don't know what else they had available for rental, but those were the things. And I think you could rent out video game consoles too. And it was sort of like going to a movie theater because they had popcorn and candy and all that concession snack options available. And but yeah, that's the thing that people would do is go to Blockbuster and rent their videos. And, you know, primarily for the weekends. It was a big Friday, Saturday night thing. Not that you couldn't do it during the rest of the week, but everybody typically rented on Fridays. So, but this place, it is only available for a limited time, and they're going to do it in September. And they're considering it like an end of summer sleepover. And it has a huge 90s theme. And what they're going to do is stock the shelves with all the movies you could possibly want. And they have this 90s themed living room set up in the middle of the store. And everything is set up for complete safety with following the CDC guidelines. And they have all kinds of 90s themed furniture, like bean bags, and I think even the like Lazy Boy. They'll have Lazy Boys there, and you know, even the decor just has a 90s theme to it, with like a lot of geometric shapes, and probably heavy with like plaid furniture. So, but I think that they would say that for the Lazy Boys. And let's see what else. Oh, it is available for viewing for anybody else, any of the other customers that want to come through. And so if you want to, I guess, just see what it looks like, you can go there and check it out during store hours. But again, this is only available to local residents of that particular county. And what else? And I think they're going to do this in September. Yes, sort of like a little end of summer thing. But, and apparently, I didn't know this, but the last one that closed prior to this Bend, Oregon one being available, it was in Australia, which I didn't realize that they were that global, and that Australia was the second to the last holdout, which, unfortunately, they closed it last spring. So, yeah, so that's fun. What else? So, a couple of trippy movies that I saw, well, actually, part of two of them that I saw, because I didn't see either of these movies. Well, no, I take that back. Let me just tell you what the movie is. So the first one is called The Last Shift, and it is a 2014 psychological horror film, and I saw that towards the beginning and had to stop it partway through because it was just kind of creeping me out, and I will admit I was a little scared watching it, so I just had to put a stop to it because I needed to sleep at some point, and I didn't want to have that like in my dreams at all. Check that out. It's a pretty decent psychological horror movie, and it's a little trippy. And I don't want to talk too much about it because I want you to be able to enjoy it and experience it for yourself. Again, the movie is called The Last Shift. The other movie that I watched, and I caught this about halfway through, and I think I saw it at its most trippiest point, which is somewhere in the middle of the movie. It is called Beyond the Black Rainbow, and I think it was released in 2010 or 2011, and I think it was part of the film festival circuit, like Tribeca Film Fest, things like that. It's a Canadian film, and it is it is really trippy. The part that I caught it, let's put it this way, it was so trippy. It kind of made me feel as if I was on drugs, even though I was completely stone cold sober. That is how trippy this thing is. The best way I can describe it, again, I don't want to give away any spoilers. It's, I'd say the look, the style, and the pacing. Well, the pacing is more like a Kubrick film, but it's a kind of a cross between 2001: A Space Odyssey and A Clockwork Orange. And the look of it is like a Daft Punk music video, as far as like the feel and maybe even the sound of it too. Or like THX, that movie by George Lucas. Maybe throwing some Tron in there. The group Tangerine Dream for the music. Like, you would think, by looking at this, it could have been made in like maybe the 80s, but like a futuristic 80s movie, like something like Tron, but it was actually made in 2010. And just the pacing of it, please don't be thrown off by it if you are interested in this. The pacing is going to be slow, and it's kind of hypnotic and atmospheric and maybe even dreamlike, but it is trippy. So a lot of synthesizer in it, but again, don't be thrown off by it. Sci-fi horror, if you're into that kind of thing, it is definitely worth a watch. I haven't seen this movie, The Human Centipede, but I've heard about it, and I don't know if it's as trippy as that, but I put it up there. It's up there with all those. So definitely check those out. As far as music is concerned, so a friend of mine ended up sending me a link to a video, and it's for the song Leaves, like leaves on a tree. So Leaves by the group Fish, which, if you're not familiar with Fish, they're kind of like a hippie jam band, but it's not as hippie-ish as Grateful Dead, but it's sort of like a more modern-ish version of a hippie band, but they're still very jam bandy, hippie-ish. So that friend sent me the video link, and I felt like I needed to one-up them, and so I sent them a video for the song. It's called Hot Burrito Number 1 by the Flying Burrito Brothers, and the song was written by Graham Parsons, which, if you're a music aficionado, you'd know the name. Both songs are really good. I like My Suggestion more, but I like the sound of it. I like the melody of it, and even the lyrics. It's like, oh, it's kind of sad and achy, but I don't know. Musically, I like it. The drive-ins that have been popping up. What is your take on that? Personally, I kind of dig it. I like that they're all making a comeback and people are going there properly socially distancing. At least I hope they are. But I like that these places are either being saved from extinction or they're popping up. See what else is happening, because I feel like think I need to wrap this up soon. I've been just going on and on and on and on. I hurt my back recently, and I had to make myself push through it and do a lot of driving to do some essential errands. So that's been fun. And having a hurt back in the middle of triple degree heat. I think it got up to 115. It could have been even hotter than that, but yeah, it was pretty darn hot. And hopefully everybody out there is staying really cool. How are you doing it? Because I know my go-tos are a lot of water, icy drinks, a lot of ice cream, which it hit me today, or it dawned on me today that that's the reason why I've been craving gelato recently, is because it has been so incredibly hot. So hot that if you're sitting still, you're just dripping with sweat. Like, that is how hot it has been all week. But anyway, I'm going to wrap this up because, again, I feel like I've been babbling and the heat has not been helping. So I just feel like I am talking like this at this particular case. So I will end it with this, and I will say grab yourself a treat and enjoy your golden hour, of course. And a quote I'm going to throw in. It's something that I heard in a movie, and I cannot remember the movie. It could have been a cheesy, Hallmarkish type of movie for all I know. I cannot remember, but the quote was this: "It's not the circumstances that create joy, it's you." So with that, enjoy your golden hour.